Hello, and welcome. Salaya here, and welcome to the next episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. And we're going to continue to there where we left off. It's the complete reform of electric grid system because it was confusing. I didn't even know what was happening anymore there. So I decided to change everything. Yes, it's a time consuming a little bit. It requires a little bit of planning, but that's how it goes. So thing where we left off is this. I set up here high voltage switches, and I was thinking about setting up even some more of them because we're going to need a little bit more of them, which you will see why. So let's extend this road a little bit, maybe even like this, and add a little bit more of these high voltage switches because we will need them. Oh, come on, now it doesn't want to work, right? Okay, it works like this. No, it doesn't. Okay, it works like this. Good. How about you? Good. So I want to make any kind of power connection, electricity connection easier to handle and easier to plan, whatever. So that's why I decided to make this thing a little bit differently. No, this one is like too high. Everything has a trouble working and functioning well because of this, but I hope we're going to solve this issue soon. So let's try to lower the terrain over here a little bit. Maybe level up a little bit. Can we get the road now, please? We can't? Are you sure? Is that so difficult to... Huh? Okay, works in some way. Now, I want to connect, let's say, all power producers here and power spenders here. But let's first connect all the switches in some way. So let's connect them like this. So they're all connected, interconnected between them. So whenever we connect a user of electricity and producer of electricity, it's going to have power. And if we connect any of them, it's still going to have power. So it takes lots of these connection, let's say, slots, but that's how it has to be. It looks like one giant snake or one giant spine or something. It is a spine of our system in a sense, so that's not it actually looks like that. Now what's the issue I wanted to talk about here? These small power plants, small normal gain power plants, they can produce 10 megawatts of power. It says here that it can produce 1400 megawatts of power. But that's probably a mistake. They probably mean kilowatts of power, because when it produces like 10 megawatts for export, it works almost full capacity and so on. So it can produce around 14 megawatts, I think. And this one can produce 14 megawatts. And this huge one, it can produce 5 times more. So it can produce like 56 megawatts, 4 times more. So it can produce 56 megawatts. But the thing is, this here high voltage wire, it can only conduct 13 megawatts through it. So, if we connect, let's say, all our power plants here, which produce like 70-50 megawatts. And if we connect all our power users here on this side, they will not be able to get more than 13 megawatts or maybe 26 megawatts because they're connected on both sides, because this one wire connection can transfer 13. So this one transfers 13, everything after it can have 13 megawatts. That's the issue, that's the problem. So I was thinking how to, let's say, overcome such an issue, and I have an idea which I'm going to show you right about now as these power plants construct, when they finish the construction. So how will I overcome the problem? Well, I'm going to connect, let's say, like leave 1 or 2 empty slots, and then connect power plant here, and then leave 2 empty slots and connect power plant here. What do I get that way? Well, if I here connect 2 export lines, which can export 10 megawatts each, then this one can draw 13 megawatts from here, 10 megawatts, whatever. This one can draw 10 megawatts from this power plant. So that's how we actually split all these 50, 60 megawatts, 70 megawatts we are going to be able to produce. We split them equally. So let's say each of this wire can transport 13, 15, 13, 14 megawatts, and each of the user will not draw more than 10, 13 megawatts on any kind of connection. So I will show you that later once our power plants are constructed. That means that I'm going to have to use 4 different connections, or at least 3 different connections for this one, because they can produce 56 megawatts. Our wires can transport only 13. So if I use one connection, maximum output is 13 megawatts because wires cannot transport more. So I have to connect this big power plant with this system here I made with 4 different high voltage wires, because each of them can carry 13 megawatts and power plant can produce 4 times 13 megawatts, 4 times 14 megawatts. So we can use all that power. That's the thing. That's the problem. Not the problem, that's the issue. We're going to have to solve that way. So I will show you how that looks like once this big power plant finishes construction, which doesn't really take very fast. I hope it's going to be soon, because I don't want this, let's say, city to stay like this without power for a long time, because that's going to create mess everywhere, as you see. Maybe I shouldn't have destroyed power lines yet. Well, too late now. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, come on, faster. Probably some people will leave. There it goes. Alright, so this plant needs workers, of course. We're going to assign workers as well. But first let's connect everything what we wanted to do. So let's see, where are connections? It has 6 different connections, as you see. We're going to use probably 4 of them, maybe even. So it can produce 56 megawatts or 5600 kilowatts. I think that's a mistake. It cannot make that many megawatts probably. So let's connect it with 4 different wires, I think. Let's connect it with one, a little bit inconveniently placed, if you ask me a little bit. Yep. Okay, it can work. So these wires are still going to have a dosage of messiness with them, so that kind of messy wiring is still going to haunt us to an extent. That's the thing. So let's leave 2 empty wires over here and let's connect it like this. There goes one, so one producer is there, and then one producer is going to be here. No, here. So in between, we probably won't be. In between, I will draw, let's say, just one high voltage power line and bring it somewhere. So it can draw only from this one source, 13 megawatts produced through wires, 13 megawatts conducted through these wires as an output. So we're not going to overload our network that way, our power grid. And I'm going to do that for all, let's say, power lines and for everything. Let's see where I'm going to lead these from. I made a mistake a little bit here. I should make it a little bit differently. So can I... Oh, it can work from here, right? It can. Okay, that's good. That's it. So some kind of messiness is still going to follow this thing, but as you see, wires can be crossed to an extent, so kind of alright. Really, man? Okay, so as I told before, some messiness is still going to follow all of these wires, but it must be like that, obviously. Actually, let's connect it. Let's not connect the output from the same plant next to each other, because if that one plant doesn't work well, then lots of power users are going to have problems. So let's connect other power plant between the same one. So let's just leave it like this. And let's bring out the power plant there. So we have 3 power plants. This one is already connected. Yes, it is. These are not. Where can we bring it from? I'm not entirely sure. Seems this won't be an easy task to do. I was hoping I can get it somewhere. I was hoping I can get it somewhere through here, honestly. So, maybe. Oh, look at that. Okay, we're out, so that's kind of cool. So let's bring that one here, and then let's bring this one over here. It can be connected? Really? Good. I simply thought it's going to look nice, and that's it. Crossing not allowed. What kind of crossing, dude? Oh. Yeah, you're already connected. That's great. Okay. So let's connect another power plant. Let's try to connect it from here, maybe anywhere. I'm not sure how it's going to work, honestly. Probably it's going to be better from here. You know, this is still going to be kind of messy. It's not going to be like mess free, but I still hope it's going to be a little bit better organized. But you know what, we have to connect it somewhere here. Actually, it's going to have to go like that. And this same power plant is going to have to connect it here and... okay. So this connection should go... not this one first. It should go here, and here, and here, and here, and here. There it is. Still going to be messy, I just hope not so much as before. But when we connect the power lines that export power, then power uses, it's going to be a huge mess again, honestly. I just hope it will be a little bit, like, better organized. But so far, who knows, will it at all be better organized? Alright, so we kind of connected all the power producers. Now we can connect power users. But honestly, well, let's connect these guys that are going to buy power. So lots of these guys as well, as you might see. I don't even know again where exactly they're coming from. They're going from, okay, so there is the one that's going to buy power for dollars. Okay, let's bring it here somehow. Possible? Yes. There it goes. There it goes. We have one buyer from here, right? Two buyers from here, wow. this is pumps. Pumps are going to be connected as well, so let's bring them here too. That's it. So let's bring another buyer. Wait a second. There is a buyer we have to bring. Wow, lots of things to deal with here. And even one more buyer, look at that. So we have to connect like all of these guys here. We have to connect them with our power line. Whew. I would say this is going to be this much of a problem, honestly. Okay. Wow. I didn't know we have so many users. So let's start doing something about it, huh? Let's connect them maybe here, right? Directly over here. I agree. I'll leave those down there for the city use. Yep. You're going to have lots of intertwined wires. Fortunately, that's not going to be a problem as in real life. It would be, I think. There it is. Wow, and you call this well organized. Good job. Well, never mind. I'm playing this and making mistakes, so you don't have to. And as you probably have noticed, many things there are I don't know. For example, loans, things like that. But as I told you, I'm making these mistakes, so you don't have to. And as far as I remember, we have one more buyer somewhere here, right? Right? Yes, we do. Here he is. Awesome. But let's take all of it over the hill, dude. But the thing is, I'm now pretty sure that buying and selling electricity here is much better organized. I see who's buying how much, and it's unmistakable because of this system we have. So at least that's kind of cool. That's what I wanted to say. We can cut it through the mountain, I think. We can cut it through the mountain like this, and then lower it from there. Or just cut through. Maybe that's a good idea as well. Let's cut through for now, because I'm not sure what's going to be built here. Will we build farms here or whatever, or somewhere else, I don't know. I can build farms here as well, so let's just connect it directly, not a big deal for now. And let's connect it, well, right here, I suppose. There it goes. So at least now these people who are going to buy power, it's pretty clear how much they're going to, not say how much, but it's pretty clear that they're getting their power and where they're getting it from, so kind of cool. We're exporting here 10 megawatts, so I hope that's going to actually bring us some more money from a trade, because now as you see I'm trading power to 4 different uh, communist power lines, socialist power lines, and to one, let's say, democratic power lines, if I might say like that. So we have here two connected, right? One is also connected here, yes it is, and two should be on this side, right? Yep, there is one. You set it to export, to 10 megawatts of power export. So basically, I'm exporting 40 megawatts of power to socialist countries and 10 megawatts of power to democratic countries. Okay, export here hasn't been set, but I'm going to set it right away. There it is. And let's set this here, western one. There it is. So I just hope that our wallet will be happy with this setup of exporting power. That was basically the easier part of our power grid reform and change. Harder part of that is to connect city back with everything how it kind of was, and that's not going to be a very easy task. Now, what I was thinking about doing, I was thinking to put few transformers around the city. So for example, for each part of the city I've been building one transformer for this part, one transformer for this part, one transformer for this part, and one for this part, because all of these transformers can draw 13 megawatts of power, which is definitely going to be more than enough for each, let's say, part of our city. And to bring also one transformer to each of the industrial areas. That is going to simplify, let's say, power lines from this power spine, let's say, to the end user. And also it's going to, let's say, decrease the number of connections we're going to need. As you see, we really don't have unlimited power of connections. On the contrary, we actually have a pretty limited number of these power connectors. So that's going to have to be expanded later on its own, but that's topic for another time. I suppose I guess we can expand it on this side a little bit, on this side a little bit. That's completely another topic, but as you see, our resources are not limitless when it comes to that. So maybe I can try to power all the city here with only two power lines, only two power transformers. Probably that's going to be more than enough for the city, but still each industrial area will going to have its own transformer. So one transformer for these guys, one transformer for these guys, and one transformer here for these guys. That's the thing. And yeah, steel mill needs power line on its own. It kind of draws entirely complete power line on its own, and trains are going to need their own. So two for city, I suppose. Maybe one for a reserve. One for a reserve that can be made here near university. One here for the city, and one here for this part of the city. I think that's fair enough. So let's do that. Let's put some transformers over here. Power transformers, so these things. We can set it up somewhere, but we can set it up here, not a problem. As you see, it has 6 of these. Well, if we use a switch or two, that's probably not a bad idea as well. But you know what, let's make 2 transformers. So one transformer definitely for these factors. You're going to have to put it somewhere here. I think that's good enough. So there is one transformer for these guys. Maybe we can use that one for the trains as well, without giving trains separate transformers. And some transformers for these guys here. So here is, let's say, one this side. Maybe we should even move it a little further away. Why? Well, because city probably will be expanded here at some point, so maybe I can put transformers somewhere like here one. But again, I don't want to draw tons of wires around. So this is one for this working area. And one, well, let's make it here, why not? I think it's good enough. A little bit further so we can use every connector well. And wires can be drawn from there. So that's going to be for a city. Maybe we will have to build another one. I'm going to build one here behind the university, definitely, just as a spare, as a reserve kind of. So maybe, well, not maybe here. It's not a really good position, maybe. One is definitely going to be here. City is not going to be expanded in this area very much here, obviously. So this part of the city will have one. Well, basically it can have one over here. Like this, maybe. Yep, this is going to be for this part of the city. Okay, so one here for this part of the city, or maybe this part of the city, whatever, and one here for this part of the city, and I'm going to make spare one here, somewhere here. Where can I put the spare one? Oh, here. We probably will be able to accommodate it here. Oh. No. Phew. Here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's a spare one. Maybe we're going to use it for trains. And of course, one is going to be here. One is going to be here for this industry. And yeah, this down here industry is going to be a problem on its own. Let's put it one here for them. One for this industry. One for these guys over here. Not sure where can I put it for these guys. Here somewhere. Here even. I have to connect it with the road somehow. Oh, there it goes. We just turn it around like this. Oh, we can. Cool. So this industrial area has one connection, one transformer for it. This one has one. City has 1, 2, 3. This one has one. This area has one. And these guys already have their own. We're not going to do any big changes here because no need for it for now. And these here substations, they're going to be connected probably there. Okay, so far so well. So that's lots of wires, but high voltage wires. And one separately has to be connected with a steel mill, absolutely has to. We're going to try to bring it around like all of these other wires for now. If it's anyhow going to be possible, it's probably going to be tough to do anything with it. As you see here, no chance we can place it anywhere. So let's put it anywhere where possible. Honestly, this is not going to be a very easy thing to do. Can we put it? That's probably going to attribute to nothing. Okay. Maybe it's going to be better angle to turn right here. That turn probably isn't going to be possible anyway. Yeah, just as I thought, we have to go all the way around. Well, we don't have to. Actually, this one power plant can attribute to the steel mill. What's wrong with that? We have to go all the way around, like from here. This. Really, man? So it's still going to be a little bit messy, as you see. I just hope it's going to be a little bit less messy than before. Well, you know what? Let's connect you right there, then. What's the problem with that? Okay, so this is connected. And let's connect other power lines. So we have to connect this one somewhere. And let's connect it. Oh my god. I'm wondering about how good idea was this at all. Alright. This one is already connected. Yeah, right. Okay, at least this one is connected. That's good. And this one here, and this one here. Okay, we're advancing. And then, oh yeah, this one. There is this one. Where should we lead it from? Better from this side. Okay, so this one here is connected. Well, this might not be so difficult as I thought at first. just wait. Let's see, does it work at all? Later we are going to judge. What if it doesn't work? Huh? What then? Where can I take it? Oh, I can't pass it. Probably won't be break anything on this side now, so probably it's going to go around. Just like this one. Yep. Well, maybe behind there again. Why not? Maybe it's even better already, honestly. Let's be honest about it. Okay, well, it goes around a little bit, maybe too much, but again, it's less messy on the side where is a city. Behind the city, behind this huge electric power plant, it's already very messy, so one more or less power line, it's really not a big deal. As you see, all connections here are already used. That's not very positive thing, and it's like very messy as well. So when you take a look at these poles, I still have no idea what's connected with what here. But at least when I look what gets out from there, I can see something branching in some logical way. I see these four, let's say, lines that go to the four places. I see clearly where. So this is what I wanted to achieve, and to an extent we made it. To an extent, still a little bit messy, but at least messy at one point. At some point after that messiness, it's pretty clear where goes what. And one another good thing about it, we actually freed lots of space for some additional services and stuff. So you can see we can connect now these two rows, which is probably going to be a good idea to do. Okay, so what is connected here? This is connected. This is connected. Okay. Let's connect. What else do we have? This one for this part of the city. Wait a second. So this one is for the industry here, but where is something for this part of the city? Probably can use this one here. Probably these guys don't require so much power. Let's check on that. It doesn't even say how much power they need. Probably not so much. Alright, so this here connection is okay. This one is okay, right? Steel mill is okay. This connection is okay. So which ones do we have left? We have this one left. This one here. Really? I didn't make anything here. Strange. Never mind. We're going to use this thing for there, so probably it's going to be good enough. And we can also lead it from... Well, can we lead it from behind at all? Yes, but we're going to have to circle a lot. Well, better from here than on this side. On this side I'm going to expand the city, so kind of don't like to go on this side, honestly. From here it's kind of still okay. So when you take a look at stuff, lots of things are still pretty messy, but just to an extent, much better than before, let's be honest. We have yet to see that. Okay, let's turn it around here, and then here, and then the angle is too sharp, really. No, it's not too sharp. Okay. And who knows, does this system work at all? Oh my god. Oh my god. going to shut down the export of power first to see does the system work in the city, and then we will export something if it works successfully. So we actually connected almost everything, right? Am I right? Maybe we're going to need one or two more connections, especially for trains only. But it seems that for now we have only these two left to connect. That's a pretty good news. That's great news. There it goes. Huh. Well, let's pass it through the let's say industry zone. Maybe we can pass it through here. Will I build everything so tightly squeezed in? Oh my god. It's not always a very good idea, as you see. Because if you want to run anything through it, then you are done. Well, you know what? I'm not an urban planner, I'm just a player. So, this I have to congratulate this game for kind of detailed micromanagement things it has in it, and you really have to pay attention to lots of stuff. Seriously, no joke. I mean, you can simplify it, okay, that's true, but still, if you want to play it like, let's say, normally, normal difficulty, you're going to have to have a lots of fun with the things you can manage. So that's a little bit of a hardcore, let's say, component for me personally. I consider that about this game. There it is. So let's shut down export completely for some time to see does our system even work. That's the thing with it. So let's not export anything for now, because not all power lines will work anyway. So probably there's going to be some power problem in the beginning. So to eliminate any speculations, let's shut down the export at the moment to first test the system in the city. And later of course, we're going to start the export as well. What would be the point of playing with all the stuff if you're not going to export this? Okay, so I built wires. And did I build one here as well? No, a little bit further here. Yeah, there they are. So, okay. Wait a second. Do I have more wires? No. Okay. So let's let these things build up. See how everything works. Money is like drying out. Look at that. Oh, I need to take another loan. Dang. Let's quickly take another loan before we have a, let's say, any kind of financial problem with Making citizens happy. Oh my god, I'm already 10 million into the loan. That's not funny at all. But I just hope this power export is going to be a little helpful with it. So the point is we don't need these huge lines anymore. We built all of them as we need them, so I hope we did. I see something not completely well. Oh my. Something still seems to be wrong. Well, never mind. It actually doesn't matter what is connected with what here. So can you get construction running without issues? So I don't understand. It doesn't look like construction is running at all. Wait a second. Okay. Seems to be fine. Okay, see, so some power plants working, right? Making power, making electricity. So these places here, what, you don't have connection? Seriously, man? I thought everybody already had connection. Well, okay. Let's try to fix that. How about now? So these things cost a lot of money. Oh, okay, we have power here, so that's great actually. Let's check all the outputs. We should have power at all of them. We have power here. No megawatts used, but voltage is 110 kilowatts. That's great. Kilowatts. Here. Something's wrong here. Oh, I see what's wrong. Okay. Well, at least we found the problem easily. So you should be having power now, right? It does. That's great. So at least those transformer stations we set up, they seem to be having power well, running with no problems. So we can distribute it, I hope, easily around the city from these points, and not a lot of these points, which make all of this confusion about power, where does it go, a little bit easier. So yeah, seems every of these outputs have power, and they should. And these guys have power also. They don't complain about not having it, so that's good. Do you have power? Excellent. So it seems everything is perfect for now. Do you have power, guy? Great. This one already uses a lot of power, but never mind. For now we are good. So pumps are working, I guess, huh? Yeah, they're pumping. Okay. So, as you see, this is a little bit nicer than it was. Not in this part, so this part is completely messy. But something has to be messy, not everything can be alright. But at least we see where goes what. So from this point on, we see these four where they go. We see, let's say, from this kind of messy pile, we see how this branch and where they exactly go. Which to be honest, we didn't know before. We didn't see where things branch, where they go. It was like just connected mess. Here it's a little bit better. And I'm actually happy we connected everything, all of these power lines and transformers without much problem. Maybe we're going to need a power transformer here and there more, but you know, we're going to set up transformer here, get a high voltage power line and connect it to our spine looking grid. So makes things a little bit easier for expansion, right? So in the next episode I'm going to connect all power substations, these small things, with our power transformers, and hopefully our city should be having power once again. So that's going to be done in the next episode, as this one is already almost an hour, and that endeavor is going to take time as well, so in the next one. But for now I'm actually pretty happy, well, not pretty happy, but happy. I'm pretty happy with how we manage this. Here you have a mess, that's true, but just out of this pile here things look much more orderly, which really wasn't the case before. Any kind of wiring was the mess anywhere, so at least that's going to be solved partially here today. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Sorry if it was boring to somebody, but this is a micromanagement city simulation game. I'm doing that, I'm micromanaging it. Not every part of it is interesting, and the genre itself isn't interesting as maybe, let's say, a fast-paced or interesting as a shooting game or something. So this is for people who like it. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button and bell notification icon if you like everything. Leave the comment if you like, and see you in the next episode. Bye.